Immortals is truly a word to just say, Benny, about this Argentina side. I think it's been 12 goals for them, scored after the 75th minute in this World Cup. This is just how they are, how they play, and it shows the type of team they are and the type of team that we could see in the final as well. They
never say die, right? It's the heart of the champions, heart of the Lions, who beat the 3 Lions. I think in the knockout rounds, it's even been more egregious in the sense of when they've scored their goals. Like you said, after the 79th minute, and then in injury time, I think it's been 7 out of the 11 knockout goals, I think, was in injury time. So when you think they're out, they're not. And they were fantastic yesterday. What a drama.
Do we feel like this is can we say destiny? A team of destiny, Charlie? Is that a word that we could potentially use for this Argentina side that just finds a way to continue getting over the line, even when you think they're out in all these games?
I wouldn't go with destiny, just because Argentina is a powerhouse and they're led by Lionel Messi. So destiny, it's more about belief and quality and having the intangibles of knowing how to grind out games and grind out wins and never panicking. Because so many teams, they get to a level, they're down a goal, and they implode or they collapse. Not with Argentina. They never feel they're out. It could be the 90th minute and they're down a goal and they still feel, oh no, we're fine, we're good. And I think what's remarkable is that Lionel Messi, for maybe the lack of running that someone would say he would do, or the lack of defending, when we say now the game is evolved, where you need all 11 players to be working together and defending as a team. Not with him, because he is a genius in picking up space and making other teams adjust to him, even with other teams pressing and playing high or defending in low blocks. But he'll find a way. If it's not him scoring the goal, he creates the goal. And this is just a well-organized team with difference makers and a coach that is in tune with his players.
Yeah, and they have a DNA about winning, right? They find ways to win, as these guys say. But it's you can tell in their tackles and the way they go about things and the intensity that everything happens on every single play. And who had on their bingo card Lionel Messi with a right-footed cross. And we saw that picture there, the image there from midfield where he squeezed that thing in between stones. And I don't know who was coming in at the back post there to Lautaro Martinez. I mean, the guy's incredible. I don't know that there are any more words we can say about Lionel Messi. And I said, a couple weeks ago, I've heard you guys say it as well. Let's enjoy it, man, while he's here, right? Let's enjoy the beauty that he gives us on the field and the joy that he gives you. I'm a neutral, right, with Argentina, as probably you are. But we sit there and we're fascinated by everything that he does now. And I don't know. I think we'll talk about it, I'm sure. I think Spain is the favorite going into the final. But how could you count out Argentina, right? They'll be the favorite.
Do it at your peril.
Right? Yeah,
don't count them out unless you want to be wrong.
Yeah, I'll tell you to bet your money if you're going to do it, not my money, right, in the end, and because they just find one way after another to win.
Now, you guys are a perfect crew for me to be able to have here today, because all 3 of you are former professionals, so you guys know what it's like to be in moments like this. So the belief that Argentina has in themselves until the very, very end, that mentality, Benny, where does that come from? Is there one person that you credit that? Is it the whole team? Where does that come from?
Well, I think first you got to credit the coach, right? I think there's always been that belief in this team from the last World Cup where they were able to do it. And then you come into this World Cup as the reigning champions. The majority of the players are the same. Almost to a fault, I think that he's played the same players in terms of the age getting a little bit older, but also the experience. And then the other aspect of it, not only the confidence, the talent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they've done it. When you do it, and you did it against Cabo Verde, you did it against Switzerland, you did it against Egypt, every single time you start believing more and more, hey, we've been in this position before, and we've come out the other end alive, right? And they did it again against England. And so it just continues to build that belief becomes reality, or a dream becomes reality. And now I think it's ingrained in their minds, and again, you don't want to go down against Spain, but if I'm going to bet on one team to maybe come back from a one-down result against Spain, it's this squad.
And it's funny that you bring that up because we've lived it. So, Confederations Cup final, 2009, we beat Spain 2-0. And Spain that was maybe the greatest Spain team of all time, right? So we beat Spain in that window of them winning the Euros, winning the World Cup, and winning the Euros before they won that World Cup in 2010. So we beat them 2-0 to move into the final, and we're playing Brazil. And Brazil, similar to Argentina now, they have this prestige and the aura of playing Brazil in a final, in a FIFA final. We're up 2-0 at half. So similar to how probably England felt in that first half, we lived it because it gets to a point where you're saying, okay, we're thinking about the future. We have one hand on the trophy in this case, but for England on the final, and don't concede. So you're thinking defensive already, protect the lead. But when that first goal goes in and we're only up 2-1, you feel the momentum shift and the belief, and they go, we know who we are. We're calm, we're confident, and you feel that you're drowning. You're trying to keep your head above water, and you feel the momentum. And I remember looking back at one point, and we had Maicon and Dani Alves on the touchline, bombing forward, Kaká, Luis Fabiano, Robinho. It just felt that they were going to inevitably get that goal, no matter what. And it's unfortunate for most teams that get to that level, the underdog, if you will. It's more negative when you're thinking about the communication, and you don't want to make the mistake, and you don't want to be put in a position where you're going to be the one at fault to help that team get back into the game. And for Argentina in this game, you always feel that you're going to win this game. You never count yourself up, especially only being down a goal. And with Messi, the more the team sits back and forgets to attack. By the way, Argentina's both center backs were on yellow cards. And you're thinking, all you need to do is use wingers to break them down and force either center back to make that foul. But they absolutely said, we're just going to lock it down. The problem is the whole team's mentality shifts to, we have to just be a shield and absorb all of the pressure without any outlet going forward. And unfortunately, it's hopeless. And against the top quality players, and we're talking about arguably the best player of all time, they were going to break.
I was laughing to myself. At the beginning of the tournament, we did all these breakdowns, right, of these teams. And they said, let's do a breakdown in Argentina on the 3 reasons they would win and then the 3 reasons they could potentially lose. And I was like, okay, this is great. And they were like, Tony, you do the 3 reasons that they can lose. And I'm like, oh, man, what an assignment this is. So 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm thinking, like, how can Argentina lose? So I put down, can they be motivated, right, after 2 Copa America finals, winning a World Cup? Like, at some point your motivation wears out, right? It's got to be. Well, I failed on that one, right? I talked about the age of the team, getting a little older, a little bit slower. Can they last the entire tournament? I failed on that one, too. Now, they didn't,
close on that one, though.
Yeah, it was really close. And then the other one was this whole thing about fighting for Messi, right? We always see these arguments about this team fights for Messi, and I'm like, how long do they want to fight for this guy for? Like, I'm trying to think of things. Well, I failed at that one, too. And it's just amazing.
But it was Messi fighting for them now.
I know. It's amazing, the team spirit. It's amazing the I don't know the word, but they never give up, right? They just keep going until the end. It's amazing what they do. And then it's about moments in the end, because we'll remember the last moment of that game and the way that it ended and the atmosphere in the stadium and it being England and all the history between those two. Like, gosh, you said before, bet against Argentina at your own peril at this point, right? I still think, again, Spain's the favorite, but, man, how do you count them out?
Yeah, and maybe, so obviously the motivation is they got one more game and they could be lifting the World Cup final back-to-back years. But, I mean, is there also maybe a little bit of motivation, Benny, for Messi to potentially lift his 9th Ballon d'Or. At 39 years old, we're still talking about him in this conversation. Harry Kane is the front runner, or maybe I could say was a front runner after what happened yesterday.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't think Harry Kane's a front runner. I think that man right there is the front runner right now. And look, I almost gave you this look. If they want to give a close up to when you said arguably the best player of all time, it's one of these. The camera's not on, but the same one that Messi gave Jude Bellingham yesterday, where it's like one of those.
He said, okay.
That man right there can do things that no one else on this earth has ever done, not only in soccer, but in any sport. In any sport.
Pele is up there.
Pele wasn't playing at 39 years old. So, look, what this man has been able to accomplish is what he's been doing his entire career. I don't care that he's not playing Champions League. I don't care that he's not playing in Europe. He's playing well in MLS, and now, how many years has he been in MLS? 2-3 years?
Came in 2023?
He's at the World Cup 3 years later since he's been in MLS, and he is still the best player in the world. So I don't know what anybody has to say about this man, but whatever it is, if it's negative, that tells me more about that person than what they have to say about Messi. So, excuse me, I think he's at the top of the list for the Ballon d'Or. If he wins the World Cup, I think you can etch it in stone. If he doesn't win the World Cup, maybe there's a couple names that can pop out. But what he's done is...
If they lose the final, I still expect him to be the Golden Ball winner of the best player in the tournament.
I agree.
He is the best player in the tournament.
Look, Spain...
There's no doubt.
If Spain were to win the World Cup, it's a team, right? And it's phenomenal what they're able to do. They don't have any stars. Lamine Yamal is a star, but he hasn't been.
Rodri hasn't been too bad.
No, Rodri's been fantastic, but you can't compare him to what Messi has done game in and game out.
He carries them game in and game out.
Rodri does a fantastic job of what he's able to do, but he can't single-handedly win a game, right? And this man, Mbappe's done it at times as well, even though he has support as well. Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham has done it at times as well. Rodri can definitely be in that conversation, but I don't think it's the same. It's not even in the same level of performances, of standalone performances. So, man, this guy's incredible. I don't know what else there is to say about him.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.